Guys, it's Bonnie here from Archer and Olive, and I wanted to show you guys a tutorial which a lot of you have been asking for, and that is how to blend with gel pens to get those really nice gradients. And so I just wanted to make a quick little video to show you how I do it. First of all, what we're going to be using is an Archer and Olive sketchbook. And this is a brand new one, so I'm breaking it in. I prefer to work in the Archer and Olive sketchbook because the pages are really smooth, and if you're going to be doing some blending, you're really gonna want a nice smooth paper. And aside from that, the pages are really bright white, so your colors are absolutely gonna stand out. On that note, the blending also looks so amazing and awesome on our new blackout books, but I'll be posting a video sometime this or next week showing you how different gel pens look in those blackout books. So today I wanted to show you a video using just some regular white paper. And then, of course, your gel pens. Now, my favorite are the Jelly Roll gel pens because they're so smooth. I have never had a problem with ink flow, and they just blend really lovely. So we're going to be using the Jelly Roll pens, and particularly these Moonlight pens. I haven't tried it with any of their other gel pens, but the Moonlight ones work great, and they have a variety of colors. It's not just these. And then I'm going to be using the pink, this brighter pink, and this orange. Of course, what's super necessary is going to be a paper towel. You're gonna need to wipe off the tip a bunch. And then recently, I have discovered the Tombow blending pen works really well at getting those stubborn colors to blend. So I'll be showing you how I use this as well. Also, you'll have to forgive me, my hands are a little shaky. It happens sometimes, it's not a big deal. It's just when I get anxious, my hands start to shake. It makes drawing a little bit harder, so bear with me if this isn't perfect. Okay, so let's get started. I have already pre-drawn. I don't know if you can see the shapes that I'm going to be creating the gradient on just for ease, but sometimes I'll just do it without sketching it out first, and that's totally fine. So the very first thing you want to do is, of course, select the colors you want to do a gradient to, and really you can work with any of these colors. You can blend yellow into orange, you can blend yellow into green, yellow into pink. Whichever two colors you want to blend together, you can. It does work a little better and look a little nicer if you get colors that are kind of close to each other, but I've done it across the board, so it's not really that big of an issue. But what you're going to want to do is put down the lighter color first, then you're going to go over it with a darker color. So with that being said, let me go ahead and get started with the lighter color. This is going to just be this bright pink. It's a Moonlight pen, and this is the first time I'm using, well, actually I've used this one before, so it should already have some good flow. Oh, my cat just jumped on the table, so sorry for that shaky camera. Okay, let's get started. Okay, now that you've put down the first coat of the lighter colors, the next step is going to be adding the color you want to have the gradient with. So that should always be the darker color, and that's going to go on top. And I'm choosing this darker pink, and it will blend nicely into the lighter pink and this bright orange. So what you're going to want to do is kind of eyeball where you want the gradients to start and stop. And for me, I just kind of want them to, you know, each be like a third. So we'll probably start it there, stop it there. So you can just kind of, you know, visually eyeball that. Or if you don't feel comfortable doing that, you can take a mechanical pencil and very lightly just kind of draw some lines. But for me, I'm pretty comfortable in doing it without drawing a line first. So I'll start it about right there and I'll end it about right there. And do remember that you're going to need a little bit of room for the actual gradient and blending part to take place. So give yourself a little bit extra room than you think you want. And so the next step is just to go ahead and add that darker color on top of the lighter colors. And it's gonna look real harsh and ugly at first. So let's just do that, and then I'll show you how to do the blending. Oh, one thing that really helps is it looks, even though like technically the line should stop right there, don't color in every leaf all the way, because then you'll only see the gradient part on the stem, which doesn't look as nice. So if you can, like this one, I've only done half in dark, and this one I've only gotten about 2/3 of the way down. So try not to do like entire leaves this solid color, because then you won't get to do a lot of the blending. So like this one, I'm only gonna do half. Now, when you get into the middle, of course, it's just gonna be a solid darker color. I realize it's kind of hard to see in the light, in this lighting, the difference, but it'll look a lot better when we do the orange. And then this one, of course, is also going to be solid. Okay, so don't forget to do the stems. We'll go ahead and do the top part of that stem and even onto there, even though we didn't go all the way up. Okay, and then down here, do the stem as well. So you can already see, even though it's really hard to tell the difference in this lighting, you can already tell that it blends pretty nice just like that. But let's get over to the orange, where the changes are going to be a bit more dramatic. And then, you know, as maybe you can see, maybe you can't see, but it's picking up a lot of gunk. So all the time, you know, you're going to be needing to wipe that gunk off. Okay, so let's do the same thing over here on the orange. You can definitely see the difference here. Probably stop it there. So this leaf is going to be totally colored in. This one will be totally colored in. This one will be half. This one will be totally. This one will be half. This one will be half. So as you can see, like, it's not a perfectly straight line, because if so, I'd go all the way down, but I just want to be able to show as many gradients as possible because it looks nicer than to just have the gradient be on the stem. And so this one can be half as well. So really it's kind of like a diagonal line. That's okay. And let's not forget to do the stems. Okay, so even though you can't really see on the pink one, you can tell on the orange that there's some really harsh lines that we need to start blending. So there's two ways to do this, and I'll show you both ways. What I do is I get the gel really wet, so I just apply a lot of the gel, and so it takes just a little bit longer to dry. And I'll keep the lid off of both of these, of course clean the tips, because you're gonna quickly have to go back and forth between the two. So here's the orange that you wanna blend it into, so you'll just kind of go over just a little bit and drag it into the orange. So already that's super nicely blended. You're probably not gonna have to do much besides that. So get a little, go into the pink a little bit and then drag it into the orange. Same thing over there. See, those lines are a little bit harsher. They didn't blend as well as this leaf did, so I'm just gonna take the orange and drag it back into the pink, and that looks a little bit nicer. Okay, let's do the same for all the leaves. Okay, so that's really simple. Let me show you, if you're working with two colors that are kind of opposites or not really close to each other, this technique works a little bit better. So it's just taking your Tombow blending pen and doing the same thing. It blends gel pens as well. So just take a little bit of this ink and drag it into the lighter ink, and it works just the same. It works really nice. And I think what you do have to do is constantly wipe this off because it will stay on the tip and affect other areas. But this works really nice if you're trying to do maybe like the pink into the yellow. The Tombow blending pen works a little bit better for that. Otherwise, it's really easy. I will even post on my blog step by step with some pictures, and on those pictures I'll use colors that are not quite, you know, right next to each other. And if you guys have any questions, you can post them in the comments below. If you liked the tutorial, go ahead and subscribe, because I'm gonna try to post more tutorials, at least one a week for you guys. And then of course, I've got such an awesome content and design team for Archer and Olive, so they do a lot of great tutorials on the blog, so make sure to check that out. And thank you for watching. And also, if you follow us on Instagram, it's at Archer and Olive. You can tag me in your blending, gel pen blending post, and I would love to see what you guys can create. Okay, thanks for watching.